There we see Tom Brands over in the corner for Thomas Gilman.
And we are underway. 57 kilograms, match 2. Tony Ramos in the blue this time, and it's Gilman in the red. And immediately, both guys getting their hands on each other, trying to get to that collar. And it's Gilman, the first guy, makes strong contact there. You see that power from Gilman. Get that underhook left side now. Something we saw in match number 1. Now over-under position. Neither guy is really known for their upper body chops.
Not at all. Wouldn't that be something we saw a bomb?
Yeah, that would be out of nowhere for sure. Staying nice and low is Ramos. Wrist control. Good head position there for Ramos.
Down to a knee as Ramos look to attack. Gilman won't let him in. And they kind of both shoot at the same time, not heads, and we're going back up into an over-under position. We're going to see passivity blue. First one's going to go against Ramos, 58 seconds in.
Yeah, and Ramos is perhaps a little too uncomfortable with kind of putting his back against the wall early in matches. Doesn't mind going down, doesn't mind getting put on the clock, and maybe it bit him a little bit against Gilman as they were trading, and he was letting kind of Gilman dictate a little bit more. Or maybe Gilman is just this great positionally. There's a shot from Ramos, but stonewalled by the hips of Thomas Gilman.
A couple upper body exchanges, and we're going to go Gilman now hit. Each guy been hit for passivity, call the next 35. If we don't see a score, somebody will get hit again and go on the clock.
Of course, elephant in the room here. Tony Ramos left Iowa on unhappy terms, now being coached against by Iowa head coach Tom Brands. Of course, Gilman, 3-time All-American at the University of Iowa. And now Ramos going to go on the shot clock. Finger fight, and they clear it. Back to that underhook for Gilman.
Deep underhook.
Gilman, really strong hand fighter, very obviously. Another single leg attempt, and another goes the other way. Does Ramos, not gonna be able to get it.
And Ramos looking for a body lock here, over-under position.
Does he have it? Point goes up for Gilman.
Shot clock expired, 1-0 Thomas Gilman. Ramos trying to take him towards the edge. He's got Gilman in the zone, circling off of the line, trying to slowly getting closer to the line as Gilman. Great job by Gilman, putting himself in position to potentially get a push out.
Oh,
great job by Ramos. Both guys really solid as they're getting pushed up against that line.
Walking that tightrope. Both guys, I thought it was imminent for Gilman, and I thought it was imminent for Ramos. Somehow neither of them go out.
Both have very similar tricks.
Yeah, that was very, very impressive. And one last nice club from the right hand of Thomas Gilman.
And he's gonna have a 1-0 lead at the break. Tony Ramos back against the wall even more so as he's down by 1 on the verge of being eliminated, and Thomas Gilman being our world team member. But look for Ramos to try to push the pace, hold center ground, and get Gilman on that shot clock here in the second period.
Yeah, that would be huge for Ramos. And one thing we haven't seen from Gilman, he's been more comfortable just controlling ties, not firing off attacks like we saw in the first period, whereas Gilman fired off maybe a couple more leg attacks than we saw in the first match. But neither guy able to get 2 hands to a leg, and right away, it's Gilman taking that first step forward. Collar elbow control, and snap and clear. Stutter fake from Tony Ramos. And as long as Gilman's in the center, I don't think he's going to get hit for passivity.
You know, this match, and now we see Gilman get to the leg, solid attack. He's got the leg up in the air, trying to sit it. Ramos fights with the Wizard. They go towards the edge, and Ramos going to go out of bounds. Another point for Thomas Gilman, 2-0. 2 1-point scores for Gilman.
Ramos still within a takedown. That would put him in the lead, but he hasn't got a whiff of one in this match. and unable to create an angle, get to that leg, his patented single leg, and it's Gilman that's going to continue to attack.
Wow.
Will that play into Ramos' re-attack? Not in that instance.
And, you know, as we talked about this potential matchup in the week or two leading up to this, a lot of people said, no way. Thomas Gilman, 1, ain't going to make it. 2, he cannot hang with Tony Ramos. He's going to get beat up. Not been the case as he leads 2-0 in match number 2 after taking the first match from Ramos. Minute 45 to go. And he stops another shot from Ramos with an underhook. And he's holding ground and he's moving.
Oh, he's
and
in.
now we see Ramos get to the leg. Tony Ramos is in position. He might score this. Gilman kicks away and he's going to give up a takedown. 2-2. Tony Ramos now with the advantage. 1:20 to go and Ramos looking for a lace. He's got it locked up. He had it locked up in match number 1. Was unable to take it through for any points. He's in position.
Gilman
That's
can
got
fight
to
a
be
lace.
uncomfortable.
I forget which match it was, but Gilman fought off a brutal lace.
I think it was match 1 of this. Was it the challenge finals maybe?
No, it was in the challenge tournament at some point.
I think it's the finals because we both watched it together. Regardless, 2-2 now. 1 minute to go. Ramos leading Gilman on criteria. And Gilman circles Gilman to the leg. He's in position, has it up in the air. And Thomas Gilman with the takedown and an outright lead, 4-2. Gilman storms back. And look at Brands, he's fired up. Mark Perry next to him.
Unbelievable job. And now
he's
another
continuing
shot.
to attack. Relentless. Thomas Gilman, leg in the air. Looking for another one. He's going to get at least one on the step out. 5-2. 3-point lead for Thomas Gilman. He's pouring it on. Will he continue to attack?
Now you're thinking, if you're Ramos, you got to get a 4. You got to get multiple scores, takedown into a lace potentially. But right now, there's no signs that that's going to be possible.
Gilman can't shut it down, can't go into defensive mode right now. What he's been doing is working. I think he should continue to do that. Move forward, take shots when you see him. Re-attacks like this.
20 seconds to go. Body lock for Ramos. Can he do it?
And he's going to let Gilman Gilman's going to get taken around the mat. And Gilman looking for another one. Thomas Gilman's going to get a step out.
Oh my goodness.
Thomas Gilman's going to win this. Barring something crazy in the final 9 seconds, Thomas Gilman is going to win this. And we got challenge blue. Challenge blue. They're going to ask for 4 or something like that. I don't know.
That's Tony's corner challenging. Not asking for 4.
Excuse me. It is Tony's corner challenging. They're going to ask for 2 on that chest wrap, but I believe the whistle blew.
They'll be out.
And here's what we're looking at.
And here we go. We're underway.
Final closing seconds. Gilman is going to fend off Tony Ramos, and that's it. 7-2, your final score. Tony Ramos talking with Gilman in the center. Wow, changing of the guard. I would love to know what they were saying right there. And Tony Ramos holding up the hand of Thomas Gilman.
Wow.
Classy in defeat. Gilman is the man at 57 kilos. Unseats Tony Ramos. Comes through an improbable route to world team member here straight out of college. He did today exactly what Tony Ramos did straight out of college 3 years ago.